A few years ago, Kim Shackley had no idea how to harness a team of horses. Shackley grew up on a farm near Hudson and became a farmer himself when he finished school. But all of his time on the farm was spent behind the wheel of a tractor. After 7 years of mechanized farming, though, Shackley realized he was only plowing himself deeper into debt.
We saw that we were building up debt faster than we could pay it off.
When Shackley looked for a way to get out of debt and stay in farming, he discovered that one group of farmers not going broke are the Amish. So Shackley spent a week back east in an Amish community studying their old-fashioned farming methods. When he got back to Colorado, he sold his tractor and bought a pair of Belgian draft horses, Polly and Mabel. Shackley admits it was scary at first.
Like jumping off a cliff. And everyone said it wasn't possible, that you couldn't farm enough acres with the horses to pay out. But with the tractor, if you're losing dollars on every acre, it doesn't matter how many acres you farm, it just gets worse.
Shackley farms about 40 acres now, only 1/4 the land he worked with a tractor. But without a huge investment in machinery to pay off, he figures he has a better chance to come out ahead. This is a true family farm. Shackley's wife and their 3 kids all help with the chores, and there are plenty of chores. It's more work, they say, but more fun.
We were farming kind of for everyone else, but really for us. We were farming for the banker, we were farming for the people who bought our crop, and now, by golly, we're doing it for ourselves.
Shackley admits it takes a lot of time to care for his team, but he says the horses have one real advantage over a tractor.
Been around tractors all my life, and I've never seen one have a baby. It averages out, I think, because you can grow your own replacements.
Shackley has been farming with horses for 2 years now, and so far he's been able to make ends meet. He may never have a lot of money in the bank, but he says his way of life has its own rewards. More about that in our next report. On special assignment with photographer Greg O'Malia, Roger Wolf, 9 News, Northern Bureau.
Ready, girls?
When Kim Shackley takes up the reins and heads across the field to plow or to plant, he says he feels like a true farmer. He feels much closer to the land now than he ever did driving a tractor. Instead of the drone of a diesel engine and the stench of exhaust fumes, Shackley's days are now filled with the plodding rhythm of his Belgian mares and the dusty smell of fresh earth.
With the tractors, we were always up high in a cab, and roaring sound and the smell of them. It was always a big hurry to get over as much as you could, but now it's kind of just satisfying to be there.
It takes a different philosophy, Shackley says, to farm with horses instead of tractors.
If there were a tree in the field, the first thing you'd want to do is cut it down so that you wouldn't have to stop and turn around with your tractor. Whereas with a horse, hot day, that might be a nice place for a little rest, cool off the horses.
It's a slower life, and Shackley and his wife agree, a better way to live.
It's a way of life, yeah. And we're more in charge of what we're doing. We're just watching more of the complete cycles, life cycles.
Shackley can only farm 40 acres with his team of horses, but he hopes to raise enough grain to feed his livestock and have a little left to sell neighboring farmers. He also plans to sell sweet corn and other produce at a farmer's market. He knows he'll never get rich farming this way, But that's not important.
Came to the shaking conclusion that the world wasn't made by money, and life doesn't come from money, but it's the other way around, that money comes from life. So maybe to live the best you could would be the way to go, and then what money you would get would have to be enough.
The Shackleys realize their way of farming, their way of life, isn't for everyone. It takes a lot of commitment and a lot of work.
Oh, sure. You know, it's more fun. More work, more fun.
Oh, it's gobs of fun. Gobs more fun.
On special assignment with photographer Greg O'Malia, Roger Wolf, 9 News, Northern Bureau.